Some sliced pineapples with the spread of brain jam on top of it is the way Pineapple-kun likes his pineapples. So, first half of the chapter, Pineapple-kun living up to the hype and crushing people. Just the fucking slaughter. It's just like holy hell, did you see what he was fucking doing? He wrecked an entire team, and like he just bails out of there. He's like, fuck this, I'm going. I mean, he skedaddles out of there, you know. Just seeing Sato or Pineapple-kun, I'm just calling him Pineapple-kun. It's just Pineapple. He deserves that name. He just a fucking monster, man. Pineapple is wow. I never thought when I saw Sato as a character, he would become something like this. Now, as I said, it's very tragic, it's fucked up, and it's sad, because Sato didn't deserve this, but let's be real here. Let's be real here, Chibits, okay? A fellow Tokyo Ghoul to Tokyo Ghoul fan just talking to you right now, we all like the craziness when it comes to some characters, Juzo, Kaneki, and stuff like that, Eto. We just love insane characters. And seeing someone like Sato turn into something like this is just, come on, it's getting our hype built up, and we're like, oh my god, he's amazing. I just hope that Pineapple doesn't die. Like, I mean, I really hope he doesn't, because at this moment, from what we have seen and witnessed from him, he's went over the edge. Like, he's gone. He is no longer the Sato we knew in the past in part 1. Like, he's no longer the same person. He is an entirely different person now, because his personality is just crushed. It's shattered, and it's in the wind. So just seeing how he was crushing people's heads, like, he would grab that investigator dude's head, grabbed his head, slammed him up against the fucking wall, and when you saw his head go straight up, you see his hat fly off, and when you just see him on the side of the panel, he's like, skedaddle, just like, yeah. Ashida-sensei, that's how you do it. That's just like, damn, you gotta love this. You just gotta love how dark this series can get at sometimes. I mean, what type of fucking series says, like, rain jam, soft jelly, and you just see blood coming off his face, all he's like, soft jelly, and I'm like, yo, that's just like, that's nasty as fuck. So, before I get any further into Sato just wrecking house and destroying everything, let's get into some of the really interesting parts about this chapter, that is Fury crafting. Like, I have some Furies I want to bring up, and I don't know how long this video is going to be since I'm getting into Fury crafting. It's been quite a little bit since I Fury crafted in Tokyo Ghoul, so get prepared. So, in this chapter, Uta changes his face. Now, it depends. You could easily forget something like this information, depending if you cared about Uta's character or not in his flashback. I went back to read the flashback after I finished this chapter, went back to read his little, flashback arc, and then I came back to this chapter and then reread it again and then done the review. Come to find out, Uta's previous name in the past, I remembered slightly of it, and I had to think about it, went back to the flashback. His previous name, or his ghoul name, is No Face. That's what Uta's name is, No Face. And it goes along with what he did in this chapter of Tokyo Ghoul. He put his hands on his face, and he saw this, like, a black aura all over his face, and then all of a sudden he's like, hit it, and then he's like, Hirako, and when you see Artemis' face, and the glasses, and all that, and if you look closely, you'll see Uta's hair, the type of hairstyle of Uta, but he's like, Hirako, stand down, and we come to find out why Uta got that name, No Face. He could change his face at will. I'm guessing he could change his face with his Kagane and stuff like that. He uses his Kagane to change his face, or something along the lines of that, because if you look at the panel closely, you see how, like, some form of Kagane or whatever moves off his face. With that, it makes me Furycraft about a couple of things. Finding out now the true reason why he's called No Face, and seeing it demonstrated in this fight how he can change into Arima at that, what if, just this is Furycrafting, okay? What if this is how the clowns get their information? Think about this, okay? At the beginning of this raid, right before it began, like, soon as it was beginning and right before all hell broke loose, you got to where Uta got behind Mutsuki. And he was like, it's failed. The plan has failed. And, he was saying stuff like that to Mutsuki. And remember in my review, I was like, what? How the fuck does he know? Like, how does the clowns know? Like, how do they know? Remember, I was asking that question. And then thinking about No Face, thinking about how he demonstrated changing of faces that quickly in this situation, that makes me believe that this is how they get their information. Maybe Uta disguises himself as different people, investigators or whatever, ghouls, other ghouls and stuff like that, and he sneaks into these groups and he gets his information. Maybe that is how Uta gets all this information about raids and the auction and stuff like that. And here is the bigger question we have to wonder. Since he is known as No Face, and we see how he changed to Arima's face, like that Arima's mask, and we know he's a mask maker and stuff like that, what if, just what if, some point or time in part 1 of Tokyo Ghoul, when Kaneki, you know, had a lot of spotlight and stuff, and he was going and having his issues with his insanity, what if Uta, at one point, was a character in part 1 of Tokyo Ghoul, but disguised? Like, what if a certain character was talking to Kaneki? Like, I'm just gonna throw one out there, okay? What if, you know, Hide at the finale of part 1 of Tokyo Ghoul was Uta? I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying that is Uta, I'm just throwing it out there. What if, though? Like, what if an important conversation in Kaneki in part 1, like with Kaneki in part 1 of Tokyo Ghoul, what if Uta was disguised as someone and was talking to, like, an important character and manipulating everything behind the scenes? This makes us wonder, has Uta done this before? Because for someone to have, like, mask and an ability like that, and being known as No Face, it makes you believe he might do something like that. Disguise himself as other people, people that we know about, like Kaneki and stuff like that, maybe even Almond and stuff like this, and try to learn information and manipulate them to go down a certain path. It would kind of make a lot of sense if you think about it. I mean, the clowns just wanted to see Kaneki suffer at the end of the day. They wanted a tragedy, and they were watching him suffer and laughing their asses off for the majority of part 1. And wouldn't it be better for the clowns if someone could sneak in and manipulate everything even more directly, like face to face? So yeah. Now, moving past that, okay? Hiroko, he got kind of wrecked in this chapter. And at first when I looked at the panel, when you see, you know, the Arima mask that Uta put on, I thought Juzo stabbed Hiroko for a second. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you saw the daggers, Juzo's daggers on Hiroko's arm, and I'm like, did Juzo stab him? And then I looked at the panel again, and it took me a moment to grasp. I'm like, oh, okay. If we think about it, Uta got stabbed by Juzo's daggers, all in the face and all that. And we never really got to see what happened to those blades after that. So I'm guessing Uta grabbed those blades that Juzo slung at him, and then he was hiding them, and then he shot them at Hiroko in the arm. So yeah, that's where those blades came from. So Uta, oh damn, just, yeah, he's crazy. And oh yeah, and he's sitting there having a conversation too. Like, Uta's just sitting there, like, you know, doing this, dodging. He's like, yeah, how you doing, Hiroko? Let's have a conversation. Don't worry about these other people fighting right now. Let's have a conversation. That's kind of how Uta was doing. And then just like, fuck. The way it looks like Uta took a hit. Like, he wanted to take a hit. That's exactly what it looks like. Uta personally let himself get hit by those daggers. Fucking, just like, yo! It's fucking awful. They're just like, yo! So, I really hope Uta gets hurt. I really want him to get fucking hurt. I mean, after finding out that he probably just let himself get hit by those daggers, they just like, Now, let's get into another segment of this chapter. Mutsuki, there's a lot of mystery building up around Mutsuki, and there was a panel, or, you know, like a little part of the last chapter, I actually looked back and I reread again to see. I saw a couple Chibits pointed out last week too, so I'm going to bring it up once again and bring it up to the forefront for all of you. If you look at the panel last week, then the last chapter, you'll see Mutsuki looking in the middle of a hallway. She's in the middle of the hallway by herself, and she's like, damn it, will this heal? Like, will this heal? Like, she's hurt and wounded. That's what Mutsuki was doing last week in the last chapter. He was holding himself, and he's like, oh, it hurts and all that. Will this heal? And then all of a sudden, you see these corpses of, you know, people on the side of the wall and stuff, and then you see a panel where it just shows Mutsuki in the lower half of the face, just the lips and stuff, and I'm like, whoa. And a Chibit pointed out, maybe Mutsuki is going to eat someone. Maybe he ate someone there and healed up, because after this chapter, it makes a lot of sense now, because Mutsuki all of a sudden says, later on towards the end of the chapter, Mutsuki states that, oh, after resting a little while, I feel a lot better, I've healed up. So did Mutsuki just eat someone? Like, did Mutsuki just eat a person to heal? The strange thing is because the way that the way that was said in this chapter, Mutsuki was resting, We see a corpses in the hallway. We see a glimpse of just the lower half of the face with like a smile about to eat something. And so, yeah, did Mutsuki just... Half Kakuja incoming for Mutsuki. Half Kakuja incoming. Just, yeah. I want to point that out. So, that's the chapter. I think that's the chapter. Oh, yeah, let's get back on the Pineapple real quick. I want to get back to Pineapple. Pineapple, fucking monster. He is a monster. He is such a monster. Oh, my God, he is a monster. Oh, my God. Like, yo. And Nutcracker, too. Nutcracker's at the end of this chapter, or Nutcracker's about to wreck the people. Just crack some nuts and slurp up some nuts. So, yeah, Nutcracker's still around, too, hanging on top of the ceiling. Can't wait to see how it's going to go next week. So, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Y'all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.